Hi Taurus, welcome to your reading. I want to do a quick check on your energy in the second half of the month of December, just so we can see what is coming towards you in the second half of the month of December. And I found it important to do this reading because I want to start doing the zodiac monthly readings, but this was our hardest year so far, right? For many of us, not for all of us, but for many of us, this is extremely hard year. And I do feel that, especially with the Saturn Jupiter conjunction coming in the sign of Aquarius on the 21st, and also right now we'll have the solar eclipse in Sagittarius in the 14th of the month. I think that this second half of the month is going to be quite strong for all of us, with a lot of stuff happening in the sky and in our personal life. So I wanted to do this quick check for you. So let's take a look at what is your energy starting this month. Okay, so how do you start the month? We have the Ace of Air, and with the Ace of Air here, I think that the second half of the month for you is going to be very mental. It's going to be about making plans. How can you move forward to the year of 2021? What it is that you need to put back together, what it is that you need to realize. I think that you are realizing many things within yourself and within your situation. I also wanted to talk about Chiron. I don't know why I feel drawn talking about Chiron in these readings. I was talking about it with Aries as well, because currently Chiron is retrograde in the sign of Aries. Okay, and Chiron is about our inner wounds, of those very deep wounds that no matter how hard we try to work on them or to heal them, they are always there. They are always reminding us of certain inadequacies. And Chiron in Aries talks a lot about how we assert ourselves. How can we take leadership? And it talks about a certain feeling of inadequacy in doing those things. Okay, so this is something that the whole collective is going on right now. But for you, it's happening in your 12th house, and the 12th house is the house of the unconscious. It's what is inside of us, but it's hidden from us. We can't really see it, so it's a lot on the background. It's a lot of transformation that is happening behind the scenes, and we aren't always aware of it. Okay, so with Chiron there going retrograde, I think that this transit has been a lot to you about how can you deal with your inadequacies around going after what it is that you want, but it's happening very behind the scenes. It's not something that is being recognized by you in such a straightforward manner as it is for Aries, for example. For you, it's happening in the unconscious. Okay, so suddenly you see the movements, you see the changes going on, but you might not be able to completely see where they are coming from or what is causing them. And with this Ace of Air closing the month of December for you of this year of 2020, I think that this is kind of a breakthrough in which you start acknowledging and you start seeing what it is that is going on. I think you are gaining a lot of knowledge in this second half of the month. I think you are gaining awareness of your inner workings in the second half of the month. Okay, so this is actually quite interesting. I wasn't expecting this to come up for you. Okay, so let's see what is coming towards you. Let's see what's coming towards you in the second half of December for Taurus. Okay. It's interesting because I think that a big part of the collective has been dealing with with relationship endings lately. I don't know why exactly, but I think that for many people, relationship was an area of healing this year, and an area that was bringing some healing for all of us. You know, we were seeing some of our deep patterns in relationships, They were pointing to us issues that we needed to heal in ourselves. And I think that after all the work was done during the year of 2020, many of these relationships are now being released. And it's very interesting, Taurus, because actually it makes a lot of sense because Aries is in your 12th house. So a lot of what is going on with Aries is going on in your unconscious mind, but you got such, I don't know if it's exactly, well, I wouldn't say that it's exactly a similar reading to Aries, okay, but you even got many of the same cards. And I was shuffling a lot. I also put the cards very in the middle, but you got many of the same cards that Aries got. So I do see a lot of the same patterns here. And as I said, I think this is quite natural because Aries is your 12th house. So a lot of what's going on with them is something that it is related to you. It's also going on with you, but it's going more in the subconscious mind. Okay, so let's see. So we start with your reading. You're showing up as the Empress in the reverse. But the Empress is your card. Taurus is a card ruled by Venus. But for me, the Empress is much more, it's Venus in Taurus, not Venus in Libra, because Venus also rules Libra. But this is a very Taurian card for me. But you show up in the reverse, which means that you are not in your power. You're not in your element right here. Whatever happened to you in the last month or the last few months, or maybe even these readings, they go a bit earlier in the year since it's the last 2 weeks of the year. So it's really wrapping up a lot of what has been going on for a long time, okay? So either something that has been happening for you in the last few months or even in this year has put you in this position of being out of your power, being out of balance, being out of your element. Because Taurus is the natural second house of in astrology, okay? And the second house talks a lot about our personal values, how it is, what it is that we value, what it is that we find beautiful, how do we value ourselves. It's our own sense of self-worth. And the Empress is a card of all that. But you are showing up, you're entering the second half of the month, okay? So this is actually how it has been coming for you. So until this point, you have been in the Empress in reverse. So I think that you have been facing issues regarding your self-worth, regarding your personal power, regarding what it is that you value and what it is that you value in yourself, and also having some problems with people not valuing you and that causing you to challenge your own sense of self-worth. Because right next to the Empress we have the Lovers in the reverse, and Aries also got the Lovers in the reverse. So I think that you came from a relationship that you found out wasn't as stable or as fulfilling and as you thought, as you imagine it to be. But also with the Empress in reverse, I think that this relationship also caused you to start undermining yourself, to start challenging your own sense of self-worth, wondering if you were all that, wondering if you deserved the best for yourself, you know? It caused you to wonder if you were as interesting, as pretty, as stable as you thought you were, which is something very Taurian. Taurians naturally have a very good sense of self-esteem. But with the Lovers in the reverse here, I do see that whatever this connection was about, it really challenged your sense of self-worth. And right next to it, we have the Eight of Cups, which I love coming from this situation, okay? Which is you moving away from all this. So here you are, you came from this, you came from a situation or a relationship or a person, a relationship with a person, and it doesn't mean that it necessarily needs to be a romantic relationship, okay? It could also be a friend, it could definitely be a family relationship, but in any case, it's something that you nurtured and that you idealized, that you held in very high regards, but that was just putting you out of your power, was just making you doubt yourself, and then you decide to walk away from it here with the Eight of Cups, and you decide to leave it all in the past. And I think that this, Taurus, is something very brave for you to do, because the Eight of Cups, it reminds me a lot of the Moon card in the tarot. It even has a moon figure in the top, if you can see. Because the Eight of Cups is a card of leaving what you have behind, your sense of stability behind. So all these Eight Cups here, and going into the unknown. But he goes, and if you can see it, he's dressed in red. And whenever we have someone dressed in red in the tarot, it shows us a lot of initiative. It shows a lot of courage. Or a lot. It's a very action-oriented color. So it's like I'm doing what I have to do because I know that wherever it is that I'm going is better than this. And then right under the Empress, we have the Devil in the reverse. So I do see that whatever this situation or this person was something that was indeed very toxic to you, and you felt very trapped, very connected to it for quite a long time. And the Empress card and the in Taurus, they are both very sensual. Taurus is a very sensual sign, a very sensual zodiac, and so is the Empress. The Empress isn't always seen like that. Usually they talk to her more like she's mostly seen as the mother aspect, but she's both. She's the lover and the mother. And she's a very sensual woman because she is ruled by Taurus and she is Venusian. Okay? And so is the devil. So I think that whoever this person was, if it was a love relationship, okay, maybe it was a family or a friend, but if it was a love relationship, I think that it was a very sexual connection. There was a lot of attraction here. And even though there was a lot of attraction, this person still managed to make you feel very unvalued, very unseen. And I think that might have caused a lot of confusion in you because, for instance, especially if you have a very strong sexual relationship, a very strong sexual connection with someone, and they still make you feel not beautiful, not valuable, it caused a lot of internal confusion. You know, so like, why are you attracted to me, right? But I do, this is something that is coming to me now. If this is a family situation or a friend, I think they are just very abusive, very controlling. Also, this is something that is very regular with the devil, with the devil card. Okay, so they could have been very controlling and very manipulative. Again, it's very similar to Aries, because the devil, it's controlling, but it's not something that controls you physically. It's a mental control. It's a very mental, emotional control. And especially with the Empress in the reverse, I think that they use this weakness of making you feel not valuable in order to control you. So it's like they destroy your self-esteem in order to keep a control over that. Okay, and I want to go actually already. I was going to leave to read for you in the horizontal as I did with the first row, but I want to show you what is coming up right under the devil. Because right under the devil, we have the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is a card of, of mischievous behavior, of someone who is doing something behind the scenes. But what I find interesting here is that it's not coming in the reverse. And this card also came for Aries. But I think for you, it's not coming in the reverse. So what I think is that even though this was something that was trapping you for a while. I think that some right now it's something pretty much in the open. You know exactly what this person was doing. You know exactly what was going on, and that's also why we have the devil in the reverse, because you managed to see this. You managed to see who this person is and what it is that they were doing. So there's nothing here left for you to find out. You know, there's nothing that is still hidden from you. You just see the situation exactly as it is, which also ties a lot with the Ace of Air because it does show that you have a lot of clarity. You're closing this year with everything that you need to know. You have all the clarity, all the truths are on the table. You are seeing the situation as it is. There's nothing else for you to figure out here right now. And right after the devil, we do have the Tower. And the Tower is also coming right under the Lovers. So I think that whatever this was, you managed to completely break it down. You managed to completely destroy it. This is a situation that you just said, yeah, enough is enough, and I'm not gonna play this anymore. If this is a game and you want to play it, well, I'm not joining this game. You can play it by yourself. And then we have also the Queen of Wands right under the Eight of Cups. And I know that you are Taurus, but also, um, I don't know if you know this, but whenever we have our sun in a sign, in a zodiac, then we also have our Mercury and our Venus very close. Because Mercury is never more than one sign away from our sun, and Venus is never more than two signs. So if you have your sun in Taurus, that means that you have high chances of having either your Mercury or your Venus in the sign of Aries. And I would really tell you, advise you to just go forward and watch the Aries reading, because it's very similar. And since that also describes what's going on in your 12th house, it's something that is also going on in your subconscious. So I would really suggest you to watch that reading, because they also got the Queen of Wands. So with the Queen of Wands right under the Eight of Cups here, I think that you walked away from the situation. You just put an ending in whatever it is that was going on to find your personal power. And it's a very fiery power. Okay, so it's a lot of strength in yourself that you're finding here. And the Queen of Wands and the Empress in the reverse that opened your reading, I think that even though this person made you feel a lack of sense of stability and a lack of self-esteem, you are still you're finding your power, you're finding back your power with the Queen of Wands here. Okay, and then in the last row, we have right under that Tower, so right under that ending, we do have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So what we have is this: we have the Lovers in the reverse, the Tower, and the Ten of Cups in the reverse. So of course it is painful for you. Oh, I think I should, well, the Lovers was in the reverse, but I think that whatever it was, it wasn't easy for you to walk away from it. It really wasn't, because I think that you really saw this as a happy family. So if this is a family situation, you really saw this as a happy family for you. Or if it was a husband that you were leaving, or a relationship that you were leaving, you really saw this as something stable, as something that could bring you happiness. And by admitting to yourself that it wasn't true and breaking it down, it was painful, not just for leaving it behind, but for breaking down the dream. I think that that was something that was very hard for you to do, breaking down the dream. So it's not leaving this person behind, but it's leaving the dream of what you had, that a relationship with this person would be. You know, leaving that dream behind, it's what is so painful right now. And then we end your reading with the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is someone that, even though he is very knowledgeable right now, because he just came from the war and he has been hurt and he know what it is that it can do to a man, he's also very afraid. He's a bit PTSD card, you know? This is the PTSD card. And it's right under the Queen of Wands. So I do think that even though you're finding back your power, the situation also made you a bit afraid of taking initiative, of going after other things, new things right now. You know, you're still leaving this whole situation behind, and it's fine, you know, because it is the last month of December. It is good to just wrap up whatever it is that is happening with you, you know, and just take your time to go through this, take your time to leave the situation behind, take your time to kind of feel and acknowledge how painful it was to live all this before you start 2021. Okay, so I would say don't stay in this situation, don't stay in this Nine of Wands energy for too long. focus on the Queen of Wands, focus on taking back your personal power, but also allow yourself the time and space to kind of nurture yourself, to accept that yes, you went through something painful and it's fine that you're not completely okay yet. Okay, so I want to take one, I'm gonna take this one. I want to take one last card for you, and I want to give you an oracle card, and I'm gonna use the Angels and Ancestors oracle card. Yes, want one more. Yes, actually, I think it ties a lot with what I just said about combining the Queen of Wands with the Nine of Wands, because we got the Druid hold the space. And for me, this Druid here is talking about this: hold space also for your pain, hold space also for your suffering. Even though we don't want to stay in this pain and suffering energy forever, we want to move away from it. Also, kind of honor it, you know, embrace it. Know that whatever happened to you hurt you, and it's fine and it's okay. You have the right to be hurt by this situation. Just don't linger on it for too long, but don't let anyone tell you that you should just put a smile on your face and move on as if nothing happened, because we don't want to repress our feelings either. We don't want to repress traumatic experiences that happened with us, you know. And this is something that is also important for Taurus to learn from their opposite sign, which is Scorpio. And whenever we have our sun in a sign, it's very important to learn the lessons of the opposite sign as well, because that is a zodiac, that's an archetype that we are projecting onto someone else, and we find hard to internalize and to integrate those energies within ourselves. Okay, and with Scorpio, it's also about learning that it's okay to be hurt. It's okay to go deep into our feelings, into our emotions, you know, because Taurus is a lot about the here, the now, the physical body, what it is that is tangible, what it is that is on the surface. Not that Taurus is a superficial zodiac, that's not what I mean, but you like to enjoy the pleasures of life. It's like pain. Why do I need to suffer? Why do I need to feel pain? No, I want to enjoy life. And this is very Taurian, and I am a Scorpio myself, so I know that that's something that I need to learn a lot from Taurus, to just be, to just live and enjoy the good things in life. But it's also important for Taurus to learn from Scorpio that it's also okay to feel, to go deep into our emotions and embrace them and fully live them, so that we can completely let go of them. Otherwise, we might just repress them. If we want to just be happy and enjoy life and then brush off painful situations that happen to us, we could just be repressing those feelings and they will come back up in some other time, you know. So with this hold the space, I also feel this, I feel hold the space also for your pain, nurture your pain as well, you know, mother your pain and then let it go. And then we have the medicine mother, honor your inner knowing. And with the medicine mother here, I think that this is a lot about taking whatever you can from the situation with the Queen of Wands, you know. So honor your inner knowing, because the Queen of Wands is a very fiery queen, so she's very intuitive. She's not about what she sees, only about what makes sense. She's not about rationalizing. She's about intuition. And intuition is nothing more than our brain picking up on all those small signs and putting them together and making a conclusion out of them that we just feel in our gut. So we think that it's an intuitive feeling, that is just our gut, is just an inner feeling, but that is also a combination of lots of small factors that our brains are picking up on, but that our conscious mind can't really make sense of it. So we feel as intuition. So honor your inner knowing. You know what it is that you feel, what is that first impulse that you have about the situation, I think that this, whatever it is that you went through, it is teaching you a bit of that, bringing whatever is in the unconscious back to the surface so that you can use that as an intuition, instead of like just thinking too much, trying to rationalize too much, or lingering too much on something. uh, what is the first thing that comes to your mind, so paying attention to that and trying to use that knowledge, that new acquired skill, in your advantage. Okay, so that's all I have for you, Taurus. I'll see you next month in the reading of January, and have a wonderful holiday. Take care. Bye bye.